Yes, I'm Mama Chama Makwaba, Adom nyina ma sese magusu jebre. Ehwe bedwem on Adom TV, multi TV. So, every also said in person mu ebro 1760 text message line no Fabra ni ntimi jebre kenkan nyina enfama 1760 text message line Fabra na ntimi jebre kenkan nyina enfama. Sa so na meka o say efisa rekopim say non wo twi ebebo no person mu nkomo anedi no. No, what you call him, no, Crusono, near the Fisema toss. But on the 23rd of this very month, Nana Abbey for the kind you was to trace to make the Kasepe Kosu Kumasi in front of Insura FM. Yakoshe the Ma on ye did to Uka Woso, or on San Count Battle, or a woman Yari and who should so you a home common and EBD. Memma Yankoja Herinum, na Yankuti. The doctor Subeka actually offer a woman's and some and then Quadashim in the 23rd, a new film or bar, pin for a friend alcohol, a friend episode, or one say, for our shas Judinim, na Bibia intimate cockama amount. The million for a year Benjamin Aye, Atrasi, Upper Danger, West, a year Mrashibi Jenny, Atrasi, or Macaba, Fisher Paso, Bibia come.
Yeah,
would you have
Bibia
come? Good. But for Yame, I can be a kama.
Oh, say Kamamui, you need to Mahama Mamudi as a Adriana, the
every time, or challenge with Mahama Mamu, His Excellency.
Oh, yes, sir. Bibia Shenisa. O my yet to a Bibia on the Shenisa. So them change. So Mani Bakuya, Nasem Kuya, Ejana so. And Nasa or Mani Kuyi, Nasum Drew or Manuma, would be also a till Manuno, a benefit. The same way, no so say, Wama or Mana and Kuyi or mismanage the economy, na see the new depreciate, for which reason I say increase electricity tariffs, for which reason I say increase water tariffs. Near are happy now, affect also as an individual.
Reasons that come with this increases, no?
Yeah.
And only okay with it.
No. What we want two major issues in the course of man. First one, foreign exchange issues. So they mention, say VR no money. Most of these companies no machines in your mouth use no do na omo crafty amanoni na deba. Nti ever say ya share afiasi na CD no 1 CD to $1. Next omu hia 10 CDs dia to machine bia ne boy $10 ah. Saban a manage economy ye. Na by next month CD need depreciate call 2 CDs to $1. Even though amanoni hono a bit my basa dear no bono yen tomb meda hujina baby jinana but because say CD no depreciate nintino instead of say be here 10 CDs near the aqua the same thing no now you be here 20 CDs so ntekobani sa na company no I will here 20 CDs now no also pass on that cost to me man contribute towards the depreciation of the CD no na me na also me bring more CDs.
So as a result of depreciation,
one manage economy
the reason is that one manage and impact affect a lot of things. What is the blame?
Exactly. But that is one.
Okay.
Two, even the personnel managing the CEO no, is also appointed by the president. Into the competence, that is the CEO I appointing. So you're competent enough not to be managing your money and so on. Who consume and who be so. So when you're competent enough, so no one managing your year, for which reason they be not technical and commercial losses, and so cost more, and also affect all consumers because they pass that cost on to you.
Two things. Opezo suggests incompetence and lack of proper management, and in the
exactly.
But
because if, for example,
the other side is that utility service for us no increase. Nyoma bia na ntumu bia aba no nchiremu aba efficiency nchiremu aba reliability nchiremu aba sustainability nchiremu aba making sure the maintenance nchiremu aba yes satisfy Ghanaians customers no at the end of the chain no na satisfaction when na kemfu no uka say explanations were quite irrelevant.
You see omahne and I don't attack him in terms of man share with you for quality, make share with you for no more, especially upper danger west for. You see, Omani, a horn at the Mibako, or see a share or more technical and commercial losses. So the mission, Ombeka be beer, but see if I say, and not technically, losses now in Kano. Is it within acceptable industry practice? If it is then so be it. Let's say course be ade babiano. Na I will say you So now if technical losses no more than the acceptable range within that industry now, it means will be managing your year. If commercial losses, look, you know, your memo, say will be phone lines is as a man for and report to your file say water leakages be almost who man term for weeks. Some of them it be quite taking the trouble to go and report to maybe the nearest water company offices. Maybe some say almost response, you know, at the same. So me who says you ya more money a book on no. A can cost of issue no home. And so more than revenue be in free. Take a banner and that kind of issue book losses no over passing on to me. Now you are passing your inefficiency on to me, which is not acceptable. So yes, your normal range be emphasized, and yet the pipe CD, and yet the leakage be baby, you know, kakaka leak after baby. And no thing what percentage be within which will follow as so sanity, and yet and shouldn't be leaky. So, but the leakage is no, it does so much, say, Abia who produces you 10 buckets. I was like, a move 1 bucket, and they are set up with say leaky and yet. It is actually 9 now be to me a ton and yes kefim. Nekobase instead of just 1 bucket ne beliki akono. Maybe about 4 or 5 buckets na eliki kwa unyeske bien free moi. For which reason costs are we care in producing 10 buckets ni nano all passing on to just 5 buckets now.
Okay.
In
your estimation, there's too much
waste
waste in the system.
Exactly. We have percentage losses now, commercial losses and technical losses within most of these utility service providers now. And you accept
your prescription made.
My prescription, they say there become 2 major issues now identify. One, the CD depreciation. So I see leadership be a bit manage economy and my currency are stabilized. And the 2, unya sa leader no so a obetumi appoint efficient and effective competent CEOs more manage these institutions no so the better almost betumi bring down commercial and technical losses that way. And then 3, amount for no so a betua you know issue no and na o man kasa so condition of service so te say ana because utua no bosome utua no just cedis so na we expect to say Nisio bill is about 5 or 6 cities. 4 cities never can obey the no didi, obey no to animal fees, obey no to other things. So do we assure say amount for also are actually having a living wage? Okay,
so in dealing with this administration, clearly 2 things now they are inefficiency and you can say lack of competence.
Exactly.
And at the
the main behind the problems.
I see. New Patriotic Party, what is saying?
Adom. Be a possible.
So, Kumasi fundraising.
In fact, it's the Ashanti region for organized that.
When we no stadium.
Where I'm so my desire so mobile.
Now the more expectations is how by a man, Magiscana.
Some people can ask me, they all can't a dome as them. Ghana have really on the ground or party being who all members chain MPP.
On the ground?
Oh, yes.
And I'm opposition?
Yes.
How?
Sometimes one of 2 things and happen. Either said the election and reflected the true said the yakan. If you have an ECOWAS register, about 2 years, they go back into their countries. And now say if you have a register, a kotua banner 270, but then 270, what have you are. It to me, my resource it shows some kind of different For example, even in Parliament, yes, any all minority MPs or parliament is here. What kind the number of people who voted for these MPs now? More than NDC for a majority side, the number of people who voted for them. Go and check from a EC for now website because I know there sometimes they manage me, but they say, "Hey, Bia, be MPB or North." The total voter maybe just 3,000. It is a nipa 2,000 to man crana where we need the better parliament or 1 vote. It can make a be so to Accra Hamana say Menshia
80,000.
80,000.
90,000.
90,000. And the 2 man now also as 1 MP. So yes, NDC in the 2000 no, at the majority side. For your 80,000 votes ni na no, also on minority side. It's only there. Besides that, you be as the trouble. Obi Oma supported the party, so be election day. One trouble. Two grounds party, you do change NDC.
I see. Akwaba, we are coming.
Yeah,
Ugusu training after because it should not just be one-off training. I will showcase each area as I say, my coach training, continuous exercise.
That's emphasis. I will share one more or more training now. Ubia on time training, so training once. So Ubia on your fit.
For the regional minister, see now to say first time we training. But yes,
I'm saying most of them now.
But your minister, it is my report to me. No one comments report to me.
Most of them now, especially the vice president. I mean, he was very energetic.
Good.
I was surprised. If you now heard the way now. We see training.
People surprising me a charity. It just Juma.
People surprising me cry and I know later.
She was able to go back and forth.
Fantastic.
Wow.
She was on top. She was able to walk energetically.
Okay.
She was able to cope with the exercise and all that. So be a baby.
You training, exercising. Now, I just by the more introduction of YEA. More intent to establish a national exercise day for every Ghanaian. National exercise day.
I can't get bad.
Who do one more
I can't. But not just sanitation day. No, so no. Say an exercise is a subset of keeping your environment neat.
Good.
So I just say. You can't get bad because oko ampanyefo amyati asese say utumi keep fit as we exercise yare bibire ma o immune system no eguru so at as nti say yare keto bi anka immune system no end level bi betuma nya no say e wo soro a na
manye ni say meduru hoda me bia na ni mpanyefo di nkomazo yetua me meko etua me nchine yetua me milk yetua me chilled water yetua avedo ko afia no ehia na ko call doctor say the whole jishe muma me yetua we na wunyi na wunye sika na so nyoma be ma so adi afili kaka no yetua ni na
normally no aya na adwuma na ye no mpem bebre nya adaje obisa mi aba ka cho mpem bebre nya na weekends kra akwa ko she baabi na oye mra esi ya me no ka subsidy legislation aloko mo baabi ye nyina obi am say parliamentarians or races ene ye adwuma nti holidays
you have to be careful
nti so wa hwe na slightest chance abenya no want to me and fine exercise here
good
obeti wani na nema for say and na ade ba ko so ehia pa say me feel say after even 15 years I say obi a regular checkup first now me had once a year now I've changed my mind I do it 2 times a year
okay
because so will level
but
of
the other side is about more with the question of thorough checks no if you go hospital on your average Ghanaian checking thoroughly no a problem.
But and also
if there's a facility in that can give access to every Ghanaian above a certain 40 or prostrate. Bema, my friend, go check it.
I agree with you. I agree with you. But don't Ubebo Saka na koyeno. So if you were to quite cry a free, Jaboso about any can say Kumasia. Ne wofu since so better why Masaya you abetu. So what I say. I have me and friend Yagro.
It's true.
A very, very important. Among who say, Madima Kona, okay, Ubekono, Dr. Beka says, oh, Mintua Makodi about Makono, Tesuka crack. Oh, Beka says, oh, sugar no, Mintua sugar, Nimum Tesu, Debian Unim.
Debian Mecassa, and young family. Me now, no, your hospital as yet, you are in Chile. If you don't buy no cry, a pre-country. It was just as I say, what the animal bone. Doctor says, salt.
Intensive is very important. Yeah.
Okay, but before we go issues, already 2 issues. Still, say incompetence and mismanagement. You know, I take him up. Probably, what be the one who will be. The latest is that Manasa Ziri, Etuan and Mombi, Aku Regime Kobim. I'm on a area high address. You back playback of the interview, but. That tag is it a perception or does it really on the ground? Mismanagement, incompetence. Mismanagement, incompetence.
Yo, did it kind? I'm the mirror Munana or can say me said they are the largest political party and that now beside the question I didn't know we are largest political party and more opposition. Answer now, Ubeka say be a son. I am tempted to believe so you must have empirical evidence to that effect. Mejidi is very, very sure. Say Ubisa Minu and MPP for yes, senior. I have a struggle to be able to give you a figure. I am very, very sure. Say ubisa say MPP for Ghana ha nyina senya. He was struggling enough to give you a specific figure. Inti party, political party unimu nko for dodo no. You should be very careful in saying you are the largest in the country. Vis-a-vis NDC. Let me catch you say now off head no. Let me catch you. This is the figure we have. Though provisionally we are still editing our
figure you say.
Any idea. Now
to
go back to questions now Wabisano, I will advise Ghana for especially NDC for MPP for sometimes they are very dangerous.
MPP.
Yes, very, very dangerous. And so we should not take anything for granted. They patch on anything as their campaign message. And there be a campaign message is me fan say unsustainable. Won't mean sustaining no. And no, so we a political party. Na so pay to me and you be BS atwem bi anu afa ne say very good. For example, and the year can you say yakofan every US e dia baha and no you abaya one campaign message. Another time you say dumso na no yakopan daroma no mampanyi FX area. It ceases to be a campaign message. So, if you be a chemukobiano, or patch it onto it, to me, a results. So, what you say, especially when you are not speaking the truth. There to be, you ever call about to him. There is that frantic effort, say, MPP for who say, on infrastructure argument, they've lost it, development, they've lost it. MPP, they've lost it.
But you think that the floating voter who is a decider, no? And so they are not seeing what's happening. Why are you relying on MPP? Because more core support. Now, in between, at the time for no, how are you convincing them? We're sure.
Now, this is an MPP man speaking.
Okay.
And you are asking me, oh, Bisami, they are no air can. Yeah. And you're floating voters, and Bisami.
Yeah.
The floating voter, and the minimum, Oko Anya Futua, Anya Futu, for no, we are floating voter for Munim say, buying by your basic school diamond. So what I say. But school dino, a crime bay na MPP nim say, infrastructure nipa nanya akwan nipa nanya school dan nipa nanya community center nipa nanya hospital intino obesa odi bibi ehye Ghana ni na adwen mu magana ni so when your school kura enya hwe because abanya di usika intino obehu say mra ya wura mu in 2016 no the ombe calculate scandals upon scandals we disika o corruption o project we ni bo kura sonsen so that it will take away.
Probably what raises topic and borrowing over 1 million Ghana cedi from YEA for travels. Normal minister. The Minister of Employment and Labour Relations, Harry Nigeria, has confirmed that the ministry borrowed over 1 million Ghana cedi from the Youth Employment Agency, but did not blow it all on just travel expenses for international conferences. Reports have emerged that Harry Nigeria requested an amount of 129,089 on the 17th of March 2015 and 900 Ghana cedi and 907,545 on 12 May 2015 for travels to ILO meetings in Geneva, Switzerland. But the minister said they did not breach any law by depending on the year to finance the trip, adding that it was officially sanctioned and approved by the Office of the Chief of Staff by a letter dated 19th May 2015, and I quote, according to the minister, it's a normal practice for ministries to borrow from their agencies, but rejected the impression being created that the money was entirely used for the purpose of official travels. He continues to explain, and I quote, that some of the funds went to offset subscription arrears owed the ILO. It is to be noted that the $230 $230 had 50% of it used for the payment of subscription arrears owed ILO, and it goes on and on. Some revelations coming from Manasseh Azuri. Minister feels that it is a normal practice within governance. Is this any big deal? A big deal.
Before I'm about home, quickly, me take it to every few minutes. So, and this for me take your money for granted. the amount for gusumu for almost 4 or 5 years. Now if we say you have a election, what resolve that problem to any issue biwa. So we're thinking.
But why should
they are not calculating the cost impact on the people.
But why should it become an issue?
Why should that not be an issue? Is it just inconvenience?
No, the inconvenience, loss of properties, lives, unemployment, and all those issues. Now, if the president can say is fixing it, not managing there, every situation demands a certain inconvenience before it gets convenience. So, your convenience, maybe somewhat in terms of power. How sure are we that our convenience on their brain is sustainable? I think moving forward, this is
a legitimate question. No, I agree. That's a legitimate question.
Listen, because if they take you for granted, how? That would be the analysis.
Manage.
Look, it is a driver. You be too careful, Accra, Niako Kumasi. You know, say free Accra Kumasi, no, it be take you 10 gallons. Also, can fill 10 gallons. Maybe a twin do do Kumasi. Utu kano, why you high? Kano him said 3 gallons in the womb. What to kano, I could jam you on sawum.
Very simplistic.
I'm a matnaho.
Very
almost
simplistic.
The whole day.
Who should him say 5 gallons? That's all they call. Or the 3 gallons.
3 gallons. I could get your cream. I'm not a whole day as I was small mate say be uncle baby. Okokunya be buy. Now you the top me a cook master as mom said, Mammy Mom said, Madame.
It's your responsibility as a
exactly. That is where the incompetence comes in.
Very simplistic.
That is where the incompetence comes in. It takes you 4 or 5 good years to fix energy issue. Listen to explanations, but do you know what one lie after the other? Yes.
Do you know what goes?
We all know.
Do you know what goes into managing a country?
Oh yes,
you've not been there before.
I've not been there before.
In terms of the
president,
very mischievous.
No.
But you don't know what goes into governance.
Yes.
You probably won't know. What do I know done? Ebi na nwo.
Omahine.
So I just say.
Omahine. Me just say president, obedi president, no obedi president, obedi. There's no country obi obedi president. It takes competence. Adrin ye the manage situation bia. Whether being the presidency, whether being the program ya on out uti gwami and say your own small business or even your own. Adrin.
So they lack it.
Adrin, that is I don't lead it to the competence or otherwise, you know. They don't have it. They don't have it. Unfortunately for them, no, they think just like Minister Ghc1million, as if say, oh, Ghana for there, ye mo mukwa kuchimwa na election year kotoaba na dia na we deny him no.
Normal.
What the command that day na you be said 3 years ago no man what
so they are taking us for granted.
They're taking us for granted.
Oh yeah, we are.
Oh, Ghana for there, oh there, ye mo musuma for ye beka 3 months emiako toaba ye so mo kan ya na. President has said it before. Say your short memory. You will be said 3 years, no. Now your coastal business are collapsed. 3 years, no. Or baby could woo a hospital because lights call off. 3 years, no. All kinds of things happen.
So it means that you're okay. Say, area Haruna as well. Okay, they take.
It's coming to Haruna issue, no. Honestly, the makai kakray any the matter about story, no. And the idea to me any issue.
Any issue
to me.
Good. That's what we say a big deal now.
And a big deal. You see, like the minister was saying, you know, sometimes it be a fancy also called central ministry, no. It be a normal. However, agency be a follow under the ministry, no. Ewo fancy be almost so ready to utilize her. Exactly. Minister no be kwa koje sesi karobi. So no dey did juma. Say yes, one mismanaged funds and that's what the IBB and family dia. Then it's a problem. I'm the ranking member. I will be ready to take him on. So, but if legitimate business or that kwakoye, na ye how say scan or fee agency bia follow under him. There's nothing wrong with that. So in the scan also said the explanation here about as a reporter na dia bano or the BIA official travels or the look this ILO dues near the no massa. So what international conference be on behalf of this nation? Ena o de be family said do bia kra betiase e te se oba akọ school na ye de eya begina ho ye bubo din se ontua ne fees enti o mpie mfi aniu papa. So be international conference me kind the last one I was part of that Now, before minister address, and we were expecting your dear ministers no a bad address. I'm saying that this last one quite an expected president also to come and address that, you know. Now it came out, news came out said Ghana is not in good standing. Ghana of all countries. In fact, now the pressure battery delegation here also including embassy staff, what have you, diplomatic circles within the Ghana, you know, we were all concerned. Say, hey, Adom say yaba. So I'm sure that there were a lot of moves now they had to do to make sure say you settle that baby a hard make a can say you nim say every year see you try you do sir you then you tell how maybe a year that last minute you know. But to the extent to say minister no misapply the funds no they are official business with the hope say ministry now so you release ministry now because also Sika. Now he will send this funds back to the youth employment agency now. To that extent, I don't have any problem with it. After all, even youth employment agency, prepare about budget crown. Even Omusika Nana Aka, apart from the Omidilazi, which was also within the 5% a year allowed. Omu funds are Aka because Oman started, Oman roll out Omo models in most of their programs. Even the balance of their money was called back into the central.
Good. Is it coming across as a surprise at a POT or a way? And I said, that is it. That is how it should be. Because or any big deal about
say medical cancer ye kwa ni mu no ye expect sa na ma we bebre. Enura minya kwan etia no mpa na edusu ewo Joy FM na oni Manase ene Evans yes our discussion 6 o'clock no. Utumi hu say somebody's integrity was at stake. Wahu enye better say such a young guy na baby wadru you know how na edusu maybe o share say youth organizer from Gata maybe national youth organizer from at this level na obeteki just a second na opese odigu nanim ase na opese o kama manfo hu say ye mpo na on that particular story na that point in time no nya the opportunity to speak to the story put there because no dey obey ye do tie na the park bia wanti so ye be seremon centrofo answer na modern nsem bi se bi your political season no answer na modern nsem bi se be ba abonte no mama ye nya hwehwemu yiye because you can't go to somebody's office that same day and rush to the studios and then because you want to be called what you want to be known as what why the rush why the rush that same day so the panic crying for say well nyam cry farmer wa nyamrema no because so the ade na wo de ba beto abonten no ebetime gu nanim ase aka oman aka ministry no nso wo hwencheche mu papa na de buy na there was absolutely nothing wrong with the procedure there was nothing wrong with the processes yenyina ya o ministries and the okay enye nwanwa over my ministry there are commissions under my ministry ye no mu din sawoso ye no mo ye nema bebre so hu ndi ye besere se nura no ekoba asa na papa ni oman mu one rush ho ama manfo bebre no and then pick some of the papers na tie the omoka even after 6 o'clock of news no papa na ko transfer crack chechire mu no and no the omante they have refused to listen to the truth in the story and go ahead omo twaso aye the omo baby look chronicle so here Hena in battle over YEA cash and a lot of them me by name newspaper review a lot of the papers nti ebesere adwuma we will do it together and obi to say Hena and obi or shy away from media very open person and all that it is so good ni panani masiria what's that friend ni person metra o show so no me ye adwuma what good ni masiria no integrity ni ntia me gidi ye say bo program enye obi akeke na invite so metra so e bia integrity kakra me woni nti no e na ube invite so metra so na wo sa nipa na me ne wo ye say adwuma no obua na push me to get awie na me wo ye finya me betra ha na betie me so we are begging ye pa mo chew adwuma ye together and enye nyema nyina even so be some questions in my ministry nyina na metima cheche o makosito because answer na edi office ne pra be show no we didn't say says oh say no no who didn't say okantam say nsem bi wo hokora na omfa matudwa so ti be sere mo say menka say dipa nya de bone a menka but ye hwe ni ye na I say it was calculated. Be say will be pentama could go be any.
That is what you think, but
that is my
unable to prescribe what we are supposed to do.
No, but expressing my opinion on the matter.
Yeah.
So me say, send me who no. I say will be to me can be a yano. Timmy ko nailing in tentem. Need that kind of idea no.
And because
no, even if it happens to me, near opposition ni no so there are MPs. No so ye MP and so you be or what an integrity. I staker. Hey, yes, sabi impreduasa. Because I say the million ko enemy. It can happen to everybody. It can happen to me. It can happen to my brother. A bit much will be
okay, 1760 text message line February na intimate jibre enkenkan enfama mo bogoso onso de bia da ye bom abaso titiri ne Global Arena of Liberty asafono wo de mo jibre kra de bia bobo ba bia mamanfo ehwe bogoso ni kra etwa ho ehia so pen Charles da CP anofori sa so na takwafo so yada mo ase mo so ma jibre mi krom bronfo of Kenya as 1 and 2 mo so yada mo ase P se mo jibra mo hwe bi pa. Well, probably topic for the day I say parliament about another issue of taking us for granted about the Guantanamo ex-detainees now at least they've spoken at I'm sure it's 10 o'clock. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Asia Press now amongst the issues ever pop up the reasons that led to this why inform Ghana for. But before the president speaks 10 o'clock to media, no, then I will come for answer.
Oh, president media because
yeah, 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Anyway, say president the Casa na no guzu Casa. Casa na no guzu Casa. This also because of you 10 o'clock. Yeah. It's normal. But going back kakra into this Haruna issues, no. You see, me can say yeah, because elections here, ABSA, but he admits to say. And yes, some of this if you say be our perceived opponent to say the in MPP no. So it can come from anywhere. Sometimes Lawrence Becker just a born Becker one
if you are home.
Yes. Sometimes within the same party now, you know, after all, Haruna and New Home, and I say you boo Haruna and Marcia. Me opposition is your funny position. The ministry of Timmy Famamisa. Sometimes within their own Kasa also homo.
So I'm calling you by and I'm resolve no resolution at any chair penny back. No, I'm buying and I'm a king kind. I'm buying as a new business. I'm a king kind. Very I'm a king kind. Resolve for this year. I say, hey. Na ya hoso ya kwa so
I mean cabinet meetings gonna go.
So I'm making cabinet say when never go I see.
But like he said no any part be behind your reputation here.
Good.
Your reputation and carrying maybe and he said utua na mo bia na say unua be reputation and how the could diagram no I careful. Okay. It can be you, the media person. It can be a politician. It can be any other person. Yeah, would do be reputation. Yeah, to pray. Why a bit careful. Now, coming into President the friends say Guantanamo issues. So the President DC cry attacking on. We don't attack his person. So sometimes we draw the line. You must be a bad programs here. You're very careful. We draw the line. We don't attack a person. You attack Unjuma. Unjuma na oyeno. And the mama who said, Juma near the assurance and dear. Who to me ye. Ebia meti here, meti studio man cha. Udimi kujina cameras, HCCR, mean to me control. When I say me focus on me, and I say when I say yin na ba. And now when I say producer, so now say be the camera ne too. It is a mean to me and handle camera near. I don't just say me good person no, and I say me competent person no. But a bad issue of camera handling now me competent. You can say I say me jitum. So President Mahama may be a good person, but about a Juma presidency, managing and running Omanya, to me yet. No problem, no. To me yet.
A president who is not managing but fixing situations.
Fixing which situation? Last me have this analogy. It is a ABA, Wako Hospital, na muja a two. Muja two ma utumi say, we lose blood pa we na doctor bia be jina ka say, oh, akwe muja na almost muja na sound munkope kontomre mre no. Munkope kwa nsu so a mre no. And I say, yeah, mo man more vitamin C in those things. You would die. Utin kontomre na chia wudi. Ana
ope moja. Ugodia pe moja.
Yes, but you die before then. Moja 2 you know, certain liters na also YEA. Me ke be about 5 liters I am wa collapse crowd now. Na doctor bi be jina ka so munkope kontomre mre no. Munkope multi vitamins bi mre no. That person will die because of the incompetence of that doctor. But when you're competent doctor, that stage no be say nipa no say the blood transfusion. Now you stabilizing. Now you stabilizing no awie no. Okofia we recommend among other things say the be animal jansa and short one I say going forward. Like I say okofia this time we did the contumely more the way. That is the difference. That is the difference. Eba say yen kasa. See kasa there. President is competent. So they no be can't say na can or they no be done me way make way not to way hey to way any dey odim kapa
adwuma na kasa
say adwuma na kasa no so be deliver
hospitals how do I spring up
ewo hin
kwa how do I
ewo hin look the difference here is say masa
how do I see
masa tie enu ti na president Mahama na kasa ka say se dia o man hye wonsa na obegina na kasa o Mercy hospital Mercy school, my say, yeah. Now engage yourself in exercise of mediocrity. Because these are the basic things our baby
I support, but the magnitude or
that is the issue. Magnitude, no. Now your resources are when ya. Minya, say, oh my way, 10 CDs. So I'm finding a duane mawa. Ebi akoko and a 10 CDs between me at all. It in that case, no, you don't expect say ubenya nantwie mua
akoyi 10
ewo aduane so what ma 10 cedis. However, say uma wo yere chop money no na wo de nantwie mua sika ema no
wo sa beka
na wo beba na wa anto nantwie na wa to aponche ena si ho mo na aka say na nam because ebia wo expect wo do wo namfofo bebre na eba nti na wa ma no nantwie musika no. So the bitchen. But Oba no or the aponchi and Aba.
The Aba.
It will be say then I was in a namless.
Aba we do na.
Exactly. Even Bible crab catches on to whom much is given, no. Much is expected. President Kufuor 8 years, sky unya it's about 20 billion. Are you telling me say Kufuor time? Yeah, you see hospitals. Kufuor time, yeah, you see school. Kufuor time, yeah, roads and yes, I mean na. But who are just under 7 years now? What me raise over 200 billion, 10 times. Then you ask the average Ghanaian. Say, Anna, a new man Kufuor be no. We know I 10 times the Kufuor be na. If they tell you say they will construct 200 schools, no, their question in the book is say you basically 200 day schools. Now we see 4. And yet you keep making math or math say yes, secondary school.
Is it not enough demonstration?
Is it enough?
But is it not enough to demonstrate that or your say yo?
200 no see 4 no do say yo. What's it? But on your ye. What's it? It's easier said than done. Tell them say president back casa dia or ya dia pa. It's easier said than done. God will not Messi 200 day schools, Messi 10 training colleges every year, 10 training colleges in back way. Back any baby. 200 secondary schools no. What's the 4? 4. And so you pushing that into a month for argument as you say, what's the 200 day secondary schools? Meanwhile, what they are not even considering. The day schools now come. Under normal circumstances, day school there, that catchment area and between attend. Unlike school or boarding facilities are a man for which me move from near far places normal bus school ni bi no it is okay see that day school big with that capacity say bit for about 1,000 students ewo ekura ni important home nkura a school going age na ya maybe just about 100 are you rationally utilizing our resources?
I see.
So with the mention say your boarding school put the na me can say now what capacity say be 1,000 students there am for bit me fi baby bebre no ma ba be kan etika o person rationally we utilize resources ni ya now we could see day school could be there o hwe sa kuro no any amount for work maybe within some walking distance and not travel e be a bit convenient bit me aba numbers no we see school.
I see, but you don't come across as acknowledging and appreciating the efforts of the government at all.
Mismanaging resources assembly YKU because you need enough resources. It is only bia no wahwe. I say asrewa ohwe
I know anyu
exactly. It is a oh puppy small dog be and kesi be say now could see a dime of about this size the man what we see that resources. So
yeah, the first that we do no because will be incompetent. It doesn't make the person incompetent. Nananka okanya in his first submission.
Not his person, but actions are not taken of his.
Incompetent means the person is not able to deliver.
But he's giving you a good example. Or a very competent, probably in finance. Now he comes here, he wants to handle the camera. Or camera,
and that's what he's saying.
Specifically on the usage of camera.
Let us not engage ourselves.
No, but specifically on the usage of camera.
Grammatical gymnastics and me focus on the substantive.
But that's a good example.
Oh, Minia. Say you can say obi MPP for strategy be on adapting say. Yanka adebia enya no kremfantu obi so. Nianko sonka inti sa utie radio, utie TV a MPP ni bia oni nebeko program no. The word incompetent, one mention e kwanya 10 times. Ngo ya kan wi. About the topic bia de beto obi and president mama incompetent.
But what reasons for the incompetence?
I mean the reasons no dey so I'll come there. Reasons na meba.
Reasons for incompetence.
No problem. So I also come there. Meba ho. Inti ayade a ayanwensam na manwen ase o ma no. Yan can say President Mahama is incompetent. Na Ghana ni bia who say incompetent. But unfortunately for them, please. I've already told you, say, a strategy I'm more adaptive. Please. Okay, sir, no, okay, say US, say UK. So chantro, na the bia you stand by the intro na channel. Now can. Why here na be say no correct. Intro mu channel be ni say President Mahama incompetent no. Now, so be ufre say no, and that's why I'm coming to. So obi incompetent. Na me say I met your denta. Na wo ye competent no. Oba na denta for nyansuo. Na de obi ono oye incompetent no. Oba na me nyansuo a me pe de oye incompetent no. Obi a oye incompetent no. Nipa na wo say we are competent no. Ba me constituency. The whole constituency with 8 years. Communities are connected to the national grid and 3 communities. The oye incompetent no. Or also by no, are connecting more than 15 to the national grid. Me pe de oye incompetent no. Obi a oye incompetent no. Oba no. Sabi utumi hu say aboaze thermal plant circle interchange ekoso aye nyina Ghana ni bia de nani hu secondary schools aye ken na nka wo kan ye no so ye competent no ye bae ni ye be see secondary schools adodo say na mo amoye incompetent no mo bae mo be see dodo say obi a wo see ye nto abama no ye competent no ye di nipakuo bi ahye ne nsa aye say eno no nya o man mu ni nyina ono ye very competent na Akufo Addo very competent na Akufo Addo na dey a section of the entire country of person be this one as MPP say hweso because masa omampanyi bia de baako a eya ade a wo so hweso yie a so mbosen bibia ani asomdwe nti omampanyi John Dramani Mahama oye incompetent no ye de Ghana man nyina ahye ne nsa onye bibia akwa ne Ghana we asomdwe mentwe me nua nso sekan me ngu na acid ewo mai mu na Akufo Addo na wo ka kire yen se no ye competent And until you for money in answer in Sano, MPP. Crown or to me.
For my second channel.
Oh, Minia,
I didn't met you feel a man, but I saw the city be trying to talk opposite to know the over water and the over.
And
the over how pound is saying,
Minia,
we have a gun as you can try another cow. And the how about managing the second in the field, it's not you telling us
it is MPP and yet will be private. MPP is
but we are not in power. We are not bothered about it.
No. What goes on? We should be bothered in what goes on in MPP. And yet party I prepare themselves to take over power in this country.
Are we talking about?
We are talking about management of people.
Arts now, so we are talking about personalities.
We are talking about management of people
who are able to lead with competence, and as a people who are our neighbor.
One of the characteristics of a competent leader, and they say, we cooperation, no, we society, no, we country, no, we constituency, no, we region, no, we organization, no, we to be and no, one of the records. I'll be in a general springboard. No, catch a Ghana phone, you say, kitty, this year means, no, dear me, yeah, no, ye. Now, say, kitty, this year was I was a media, be private, and in any case, you are even wrong. Obi a catcher will say MPP will be private property to the obey ni be amfa hono enya no kre it is supposed to be a national political party obi our interest room into whatever happens in MPP no tonyon etsenema bebre say payi when ye di na sia ano because usunu banya obeda no
fie kran ko yi
now, Ufie Kuranu untumi.
So, question mark in a question of when you feel some crazy answer. And
don't put the last minute I make. And don't put the last minute. But to me, both compare the Mampany President Jomama Aye and the Mrana almost more to me, almost Aye. Our friend.
Assemble, couldn't say Sikaba Munsem, anyone Bresika Munsem.
As I know more that look, I'm not more power. They were not servicing any debt. Aye, your friend be hippie.
Na say pick na so jemu faso.
Oh, massa.
Seba.
Samre no. Ya de yen nyina ye ka e de che yen. Insesi ka no, ene, ba bi ekodu. Look, let us not forget say. Niwa bebre ni grant ahodo ana na omunya.
Pick no ti ase ye de.
I mean
because that pick no ye ka na mo yar ma body agu. Ghana ka na ma body agu. If be take over no na nam say nim de ni nyansa na ye wonti no.
You see,
you
see, and ade ba ko ye Ghana for hipa e wo man when I'm telling you. The secret. Ade ba ko ye Ghana for hipa e wa dia. Ade ba ko ye Ghana for hipa e wo man yimu. IMPP for length and cross of the country. Please. That is Ghana for NDC for one to bro. What's okay. Only MPP ni ba ko ton tuma ba ko. Ohun. Ntuma na ne beto no. Uchemu mienu. Na memi NDC ni me de media commission odin or no nam so no MPP ni tin dey papa say media. That is the beginning. Almost look, MPP need to make sure when him no I catch that say now say we sabi in previous. Look, the American is open and everybody knows it. They insult people all the time. I am telling you. Everywhere. Look, now fine boys in our NDC. I am telling you. I am telling you. They do it. Look, it is happening on the ground. It is happening on the ground. So, we are not surprised that Biano said the Bia and MPP for the Bayano and your papa. He was talking about yes, you're taking Ghana for granted. Na ya mama de sumu for so long a time. If you appreciate, so Obeka no cry, and I know he understands the issues. So Obeka no cry.
The word granted needed. More you are taking it for granted. So give us reason why you've not taken us for granted.
That's what I'm giving you. Okay. So minim so the energy challenges never my The last person now I was in energy said Ghana de sumu ayo mampanyi Dramani Mahama.
He doesn't care.
Or no, the last person, and we're indicating on several platforms. Sabi in Predrasa. Doom so by no. Ye NDC for Sinchenyo.
Some enjoy.
Someone could echo the sumu. A more Nankanium, never before Nensum. So what you are telling me,
Jubilee House, not Nensum.
Oh, please.
But Jubilee House, always was over the sumu.
And in man, yet said, yeah, he felt it. He never felt it. Yes, he never felt it.
Me, I felt it. I felt it.
But the president, I
mean,
felt
it would be illogical for anybody to think that. Exactly.
It came at a cost.
Exactly.
It came at a cost.
Please,
the president here.
Please, let me make my point.
All right, okay.
And you created the impression because President Nankasa as a state, you lose a lot of revenue as far as Doomsaw is concerned.
That is where the incompetence comes in. That is where the incompetence comes in. If you are inaction, I'm here losing revenue. Yes, we are incompetent.
Doomsaw mobile, more managing, I'm fixing. I'm more the near my ego aquam to the extent say, Emma beam. Na ye buy no sa ni mana mudi gu akwan mu no sabi imprevious and what if asum e dam say ya adwen ya adwuma nti no ye de pick as be say no.
Oh, exactly.
Ye de pick as
two examples am
no anu nti I don't like
plant boom ya no mo ba do say January up to now
so please
Jai Santrek Afoko had to take them to court. Zakem had to take them to international court.
Afoko.
Yes, Zakem project.
Suspended chairman.
What did no court or the
why not can I say suspended chairman? Why not can Afoko dey you Afoko OJ, you Afoko ya remanded, you Afoko suspended, Afoko dey na kan.
Can you ask them president
Afoko dey na wo kan no.
Na wa wa ja two stage.
Afoko dey na
state na lose
revenue. You see? And so the point is that Omapoli catcher say fix it
for how long?
Problems now.
It takes 4 or 5 years. Now they are emergency plan.
They below the belt crowd.
4 or 5 years. They are emergency plan. Normal plan.
I'm enjoying and producing and point.
And why they below the belt crowd? May land the out.
10 o'clock. His Excellency.
Yeah.
And the back side your computer.
He's on top of issues.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, on your sub president, on your mumu president.
I mean,
promise. So why need to be on your bibin can once more?
Okay.
I didn't want you. How can you talk about it?
Okay.
President Kasa every day is normal because
for me, Obama, actually Ghana for who appreciate the president. Do kind of crunch Ghana for some time now. Can you?
Because you're so canny.
The catch Ghana for.
We don't mind the cognizance.
Catch Ghana for say I saw Kanyano for the past 1 week. Oh God, because it to me.
Debbie, what's on the Kanyano? No,
We don't know what I am.